And now we have Lael Kylin Judson. So she's going to be talking from Rural Roots Louisiana as well.
Good morning, everybody. Like she said, I'm Lael Kylin Judson, and I'm here with Rural Roots today on behalf of the youth advocacy. So this presentation is about environmental justice in Cancer Alley, the fight for our lives. This is about understanding the human and environmental cost of industrial pollution. This is the birth of Rural Roots. On the left, that is our president, Mrs. Ashley Gainyard, who is sitting on the left side of the room. Miss Ashley has witnessed our rural tight-knit community turn into an industrial wasteland. She is a mother of 3. All of her children were born underweight. She has a son, Jason. Jason has developed severe respiratory issues. He was restricted from playing outside because the air pollution triggered his asthma attacks. Miss Ashley personally battled with breast cancer and reproductive issues. She had a hysterectomy at the age of 38, which is fairly a young age, due to exposure-related health problems. You know why she created Rural Roots? To educate, organize, and fight for environmental justice. Cancer Alley, or what I like to call an industrial death zone. Cancer Alley stretches more than 85 miles from Baton Rouge to New Orleans. It contains over 150 chemical plants and refineries. More than 50 toxic chemicals, which are known to us, are released into the air, including benzene, which is linked to leukemia and other blood disorders, formaldehyde that causes severe respiratory issues, and ethylene oxide, which increases the cancer risk. You also have chloroephrine, which causes breathing issues and is also linked to higher cancer rates. Louisiana's cancer rate is 40% higher than the national average, almost 50%. Cancer Alley isn't just a Louisiana problem, it's a national crisis. Industries prioritize profits over people, putting Black and low-income communities at the highest risk. Environmental racism ensures pollution is dumped in vulnerable communities. My next slide is reality of living here. What happens when the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the land we live on becomes poison? This is the reality for communities that live in Cancer Alley, such as mine. We have a plant which is called CF Industries. It sits just 2 football fields away from the elementary school. As you can see in the picture, it's about a 3-minute drive or about 1.4 miles, which is not that long. In 2022, the school had to be evacuated due to a leak at CF. And when they were evacuating the children, they evacuated them in the same air that the leak had been in. There wasn't a safety protocol or anything that if a leak happened at the plant to safely evacuate the children. So the same chemicals that were in the air from a leak were the same chemicals that were in the air that the children were evacuated, which probably had effects on them that they didn't know. CF Industries is the biggest ammonia plant in the world and one of the poorest communities, with less than a population of 6,000 people, which continues to decrease year by year. Children are breathing in toxic chemicals every single day. High rates of asthma, respiratory infections, and chronic illnesses. Pregnant women exposed to pollution have higher rates of premature births, low birth weights, birth defects. In one situation, we had to work with the Institute for Energy, Economics, and Financial Analysis, better known as IFA. We proved that the Mitsubishi project, which was going to be planted inside our community, was financially and environmentally harmful. We prevented it from poisoning yet another part of our lovely town. We can stop these projects when we fight back. My story. That is me right there to the left at around 2-3 years old in the hospital. I struggled with fine motor skills, making simple tasks like buttoning my jeans difficult. I had bowel development issues that led to lifelong digestive problems. I am part of Louisiana's 13.3 preterm birth rate, one of the highest in the US. I've noticed a pattern of many others who are born in similar regions like me or who are born in the same region as me. They also have difficulty breathing and they also have similar health issues. I breathe better when I leave the South. Most people in areas like myself or in the same area as me have lost countless members to cancer, such as lung cancer and breast cancer, and also colon cancer. I have not struggled with asthma, but I've had family members like my dad who had asthma, who was diagnosed with asthma around 10 years old. He still has some effects with it today, but it's not as severe or harsh that it was in the past since he has moved to an area that's a little bit better, but not that much. We've already talked about some problems, so here are some solutions. These are 4 solutions that I have proposed. Strong environmental regulations. We should enforce pollution limits on companies, and we should also increase fines for violations. We could also use community-based and water monitoring. By investing in independent monitoring to track pollution in real time so that we can see the effects and know if something harmful is being released in the environment before we see the real-time effects like cancer or asthma show up in loved ones. We should also hold companies accountable for exceeding safety levels. It is not fair for companies to release harmful chemicals in the environment that can potentially harm somebody. Another solution is zero waste and renewable energy investment. We should push for alternatives that don't poison the community. We should support sustainable solutions instead of relying on polluting industries. This is the power of our voices. We are proof that pollution has real human costs. We must speak up, educate, and demand action. Youth have the power to mobilize, organize, and force change. Change doesn't come from waiting, it comes from action. What you can do today, you can raise awareness by sharing the story, talking about it with others, and educating people on what's going on. We could also demand policy change by attending local meetings, calling representatives, and pushing for stricter environmental laws. We need to support sustainable solutions by reducing waste, advocating for clean energy, and rejecting industrial pollution. We need to say no to polluters. We need to stop new plants from coming into our communities. We are not just statistics. We are survivors, fighters, and change makers. This is our fight. This is our future. Let's take it back. Thank you. This is how you support Rural Roots Louisiana. rurallouisiana.org.